Okay, hi everybody. Hi, we have people joining. Thank you so much for finding the time to join us today. I think we will chat for the first minute or two just to let everybody come in. So, again, thanks so much for finding the time to join us today. We're going to cover a very exciting topic for many. We're going to talk about the most important Precoro product updates that will take your process to the next level. This session will be led by Miia, our Senior Customer Success Manager. She'll cover the biggest Precoro updates of Q2 and also unveil upcoming developments for the Q3 of this year. So, um, before we go any further, let us introduce ourselves. So, my name is Lada. I am a community manager at Precoro, mostly in charge of our events, webinars, and this is probably my favorite one. And Miia, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Of course, thank you for the intro, Lara. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My face should actually be familiar to some of you, but for those who don't know me, my name is Miia. I'm a senior customer success manager in Precoro. I've been here for a bit more than 3 years now, and today I'm excited to share our recent updates with you and also answer any questions that pop up.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Mia. I'm very excited for the session. Before we dive in, let's take just a second to talk a little bit about housekeeping. So, if any of you haven't used this platform before, this is AirMeet. This is the webinar platform. So, on the right hand side, you should see several tabs that should be useful to you. So, first one of them is going to be the chat. In the chat, please feel free to let us know about any technical issues that you might have if you don't see something, if you can't find something. And also, yeah, hi, thanks, Alina. You can say hi to other participants. So just as Alina did, for example, you can go ahead and type where you're joining us from. So I am joining from Latvia. Okay, just went there. So please go ahead and try it out. I think the chat functionality is going to be very useful. So yeah, acquaint yourself. And then under the chat, you will see the Q&A tab. So the Q&A tab is where we would love for you to submit any questions that you might have for Mia to answer at the end. We're going to have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar, so please let us know any questions you might have in advance. We want to make sure that we cover everything. If we don't have the time to cover them live during the webinar, we will follow up with everybody after the event. And then just one last thing before we go on. So to remind you of our agenda, first Mia is going to talk a little bit about our product strategy and how we pick the features that appear on these webinars quarter after quarter. Then we're going to talk about the Q2 Precoro's latest feature, so mobile app. We know everybody was waiting for that, and there are also Punch Out, NetSuite app, and so many more. So very excited. Then we're going to talk about overview of Precoro roadmap for Q3 and have the Q&A session at the end. So stick around, and that's it from me. Mia, let's dive in.
Sure, thank you, Lara. So before we talk about the latest features, just a few words about the approach. Part of the updates is from our product strategy, as our product team analyzes markets, trends, and the workflows you are building with Precoro to define those key things that would improve the workflows and overall experience. And another part of the updates is your feedback. So some of the things that you have suggested before might be already launched. And once you share the feedback with your dedicated customer success manager or our support team, it gets recorded in our internal backlog. So then the team, our product team, analyzes all of the suggestions while building the roadmap for the next period. And as always, we encourage you to share your feedback today. And now let's move on to our latest updates. So with the improvements, sky is the limit. So we've been working on a lot of enhancements for users engaged in requesting, approving, and just managing documents in Precoro. And I would like to start with highly awaited Precoro mobile app, which is already available on the App Store and Google Play. Within the first iteration, you have a flexibility to view and approve documents on the go, ensuring seamless procurement management from anywhere, anytime. On the screen right now, you can see the real screenshots from our app that is already released, and you can see how excited I am. So if you haven't checked it out yet, please, after the webinar, go to your marketplace, download the app, and I'm sure that you will love it too. Anticipating your questions, in the second iteration the team is working on now, you'll be able to create purchase requisitions and receipts, open and add attachments to your documents on the go as well. So this will make it so much easier for many of you to do your daily tasks on the business travel, on the field, or just being out of the office. And there will be many other iterations, so get the app to be up to speed. Approval process is an important stage in optimizing the spending and avoiding the risks. So we've been working on some great new features to enhance the current approval capabilities. Let's dive in. The first approval update will be especially useful for our customers utilizing budgets in Precoro. We know how important it is to incorporate financial control into all of your spending. So with over budget approval, you can now set up approvers responsible strictly for over budget documents. So if a document exceeds the existing budget, additional approval will be triggered automatically. On the next slide, you can see how easy it is to set up the over budget approval. Once enabled in the basic settings, when you create the new approval step in the approval workflow, you see the checkbox for over budget approval. So then you can select that this particular step should be involved in the over budget approval. This way, no documents that require extra spending will be missed, and you will have even more automated financial control. And our next feature is the approval review functionality. It ensures that all documents follow the correct approval process by triggering a review by admin and flagging errors. This prevents automatic approvals in case of incomplete or incorrect information. For example, the head of the operations department left the company and a new employee was not added to the approval flow. Because let's be honest, we're all humans, mistakes can happen. So now once the PO for the operations department is raised, instead of skipping the approval, it will be routed to the admin with the approval review status, highlighting that the approval is missing. And if according to your company policy, not all documents require review, you can set up thresholds. And the document is blocked only if it hits that certain threshold. I think this feature is a great extra stage of the compliance review that is automated on the backend. Moving on to our service order improvements. So many of you use and love our service orders, and we have a few updates to boost your service ordering even more and align it with your procurement policies. Companies that utilize a purchase requisition module now can benefit from them even more, as the service order from purchase requisition feature allows you to create service orders directly from purchase requests, streamlining the process and ensuring that all requests are linked and organized for traceability. Moreover, now you can customize forms for service POs, tailoring them with the fields you need beside the Precoro default ones. This make creating service POs much smoother and more efficient for your business. Another constantly ongoing, I would call it project in Precoro, is improving our design across the product to ensure a user-friendly experience for everyone. As you must have already noticed, we've updated the design for creating the purchase order from purchase requisition. So you can now enjoy an even cleaner, more intuitive page design with improved filter dashboard and easy to follow steps. We plan to roll it out to all the pages where you create documents from documents, including the AP inbox for OCR. And while we are on the design topic, let me share some of the other updates we are expecting. So some of the pages that will be updated are budget list, budget page, punch out pages, supplier management, and many more. Clean and intuitive design can really make a difference when adopting to a new system. So please wait for the updates and share your feedback with us. Now let's talk about our OCR improvements. For those not yet familiar with this functionality, OCR is an optical recognition tool that helps you scan and process your invoices more easily and quickly. We are working on improving the accuracy rate and overall experience on a regular basis, and here are some of our recent updates. A big part of the OCR enhancements is teaching Google OCR to read data using the real invoices you provide us. As a result, Google now can recognize not only the total of the invoice, but each item line separately, providing more granular data. With OCR, efficiency is the goal, and from now on, once OCR scans the attachment, Precoro can pre-create an invoice draft with the recognized data. So all you need to do is check the info, add what's missing, and confirm the invoice. Of course, it is a constant work in progress with a tool like that, but I encourage those of you using Google to try it out and give us your feedback. And for those who have yet to experience all the OCR benefits, I suggest contacting your CSM and schedule a more detailed demo. Moving on to our supplier management improvements. Another great update is the customization of supplier approval process. As you know, you previously could only add the same approvers for suppliers regardless of the supplier type or any other criteria. With this update, you can now set up separate approval workflows based on the supplier's custom field. So, for example, you are working with both standard suppliers and freelancers, and you would like to set up approval flow differently for both of these types. With having a custom field supplier type, it is now possible. So when you request a new supplier, you are able to set up the approval flow that if it's a standard supplier, it requires approval from the procurement manager. And if it's a freelancer, from legal manager. And while I'm talking about supplier management, let me give you a sneak peek of another great improvement in progress. So we know how important it is to maintain up-to-date supplier payment details, check whether the right contracts are in place while ensuring security of the data. With that in mind, our new view-only role in supplier management will allow you to grant access to the supplier module without worrying about unauthorized changes. Instead of the full editing access, you will be able to provide, for example, the AP team with the view-only role to explore supplier details, leaving the editing permission only to specific personas. With this update, we want to give you more visibility without compromising security. Coming next, the integration updates. The first one is QuickBooks Online. My colleagues shared some of the QuickBooks update in Q1, and we have even more for you today. Previously, you could only send the approved purchase order or matched bill to your QuickBooks account. Now you can integrate expenses such as reimbursement requests on top of that. This automates your accounting process even more by sending expense data directly, eliminating manual entry and reducing errors. Expense integration can be enabled by the account admin on the integration page in configuration, or simply contact your customer success manager and they will guide you through the necessary steps. The next one is, to be honest, the most exciting for me, as many of the companies I work with use NetSuite as their ERP of choice. Now that the Precoro Suite app has been released, integration settings are much easier. All payments and required leads, such as chart of accounts, suppliers, classes, etc., can be automatically synced with no manual input. As you can see on the screen right now, you can now control the new data import and sync from NetSuite directly. Sounds intriguing? Then contact your customer success manager to seamlessly migrate your integration to our new app. There are more updates to expect within the app. Our integration with NetSuite currently supports only default standard fields and custom segments of a particular type. We are working to enhance this by enabling support for custom transaction, line, and body field to utilize even more custom fields with a Suite app. This quarter, we also released many features that might seem small at first glance, but are crucial for covering different use cases. If you have a custom API integration with a third tool and map your catalog, you understand the pain of integration breaks due to changes in SKUs and descriptions made by requesters. You can now log those two fields for smooth and seamless integration. I'm sure some of you are feeling quite relieved right now. And with our next feature allowing you to edit currency in POs and invoices, you can fix currency mistakes easily. Before, if you started with dollars but actually needed euros instead, you'd have to cancel the document and start over. Now you can simply edit the currency directly in the document during the draft or revision stages. Our next update is for those who enjoy decluttering the interface. The ability of deactivating standard documents, and it can be utilized in several ways. So, if you have purchase order custom forms covering all your purchases types, you can disable the standard purchase order form as it is no longer needed. Or if you have a no PO, no pay policy, deactivating standard invoice document ensures your end users are compliant with it. Now you can achieve this by asking your customer success manager to deactivate standard document forms on the backend for you. Mass reject of pending documents is our next feature. So we understand how important efficiency is. Before you had to reject each document individually, which was slow. But we added the ability to reject multiple documents at once, saving you time for other tasks. Simply select the documents you want to reject, provide a reason, and reject them all together. This is especially useful for clearing out old hand documents in the system. The next update is an additional check for a three-way match, as it is crucial to receive what was actually delivered in order to pay supplier correctly. A quick recap of how a three-way match works in Precoro. So when the supplier invoice is added to the purchase order, Precoro scans and checks if there is the relevant receipt in place. If not, it will block the invoice and send out notifications to respective group of users asking them to create receipts. And the invoice gets unblocked and processed only after the receipt is added. With this update, on the step of adding a receipt, responsible individuals will now have visibility into attached invoices. This feature enables quick analysis of quantities and amounts to ensure correct reconciliation. And then we are moving on to a peer receipt matching. So imagine a case. You ordered 100 kilograms of potatoes, but upon delivery, you receive 105. Previously, this discrepancy would prevent you from creating a receipt without manually editing the purchase order first. With our new PO receipt matching feature, you are able to receive more than initially ordered, followed by the matching process. And you can set up tolerance limits to define acceptable variations. This allows you to create a receipt based on the actual quantity received, simplifying the procurement process. And last but not least, our new punch outs. So we are thrilled to introduce our punch outs with Home Depot, Staples, and Amazon Business, making it even easier for you to shop with your preferred suppliers directly with Precoro. Many of you are probably asking right now, wasn't there the Amazon integration already? Yes, we have Amazon Punching for a while now, and it is still available just for a bit other cases. Some of you might actually know Lada from those times. I'm sure that Lada is thrilled to have Punch Out with Amazon, aren't you, Lada?
I am absolutely thrilled. It's been a while that we've been waiting for this integration. So if any of you are using Amazon Business to work, yeah, to make big part of your orders, then definitely look into it. I think Mia is going to explain how this works in just a second.
Sure, let me walk you through the implemented flow. So, regardless of the vendor, the process starts via purchase requisition in Precoro as always, but just with a different button. So then once the requester add all the necessary details and hit create, they are redirected to the supplier website. Then on the supplier website, they can go on, shop freely, add in all the items that they need. In our examples here, we are adding some folders or any other things that you need to order from that particular supplier. And then when the requesters proceed to checkout, and ready to move on, once they click submit order, they get redirected back to Precoro purchase requisition they previously created, but with items already there. So then all they need to do is to add some extra internal fields like GL codes or projects, etc., and confirm the purchase requisition. After the requisition is approved, the purchase order will be created automatically for purchasing manager to review. That's it. You're done, and all you need to do is just wait for your delivery. But moreover, the invoices can be integrated via punchouts too. They will be added to Precoro in the draft status for your review and confirmation. We tried our best to make this process as familiar as possible for the end users. And I think that the team did a great job. So if you shop with Staples, Home Depot, Amazon Business, let your customer success manager know and they will connect your accounts to Precoro. That's it for the Q2 updates. Quite a lot of features we released, and I encourage you to discover them yourself or with your customer success manager to implement more efficiency, financial control, and automation to your procurement flow.
There's definitely a lot of features that came out. Thank you so much, Mia, for covering all of them. I was thinking so hard about which feature is my favorite. I don't know. Um, Definitely a lot of exciting ones. Probably mobile app or the punch outs or the QuickBooks integration.
Yeah,
Check
I
them out
agree.
for yourself. If you have any features that we are talking about that you've tried out already and you have feedback, please do let us know in the comments section. We're always waiting for your feedback and yeah, very happy to hear your thoughts. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate, put them in the Q&A tab already. We will now talk about the updates that are upcoming in Q3 and then move on to the Q&A session. So please do let us know if you have any questions as of right now. That's it from me. I guess we can move on to the Q3.
Sure, thank you, Lara. So, to kick off the next quarter, we will have even more exciting punch outs coming out. On our list are the Granger, Office Depot, and VWR. And if you have in mind a different supplier or marketplace that you would like to connect with, please contact your CSM and let them know so we can record it internally. In the next section, I will cover the features that will be especially interesting and useful for the finance team. They were highly requested by a lot of companies, and we hear you. So I'm happy to share that we've started working on them. Starting with transferring past budgets to future periods. Quite a common situation where your team did not use all the budget for a given period, for example, quarter. Previously, any unspent budget would not carry over to the next period automatically. You would have to do the math yourself. Soon, you will be able to check a respective box in the budget settings to transfer any remaining budget to the next period. And you can also specify how many days after the period the transfer should occur. Let me give you an example. So if you have $500 left in your Q3 budget, you soon will be able to automatically move it to a Q4 budget, and you can assign that this transfer should occur on the first day of the next period, September 1st in our case. The second one is a split cost feature. So, right now, if you need to order something for several departments or projects, you need to create separate purchase orders or invoices to allocate your costs correctly. And we understand that it is time consuming and not as efficient. Now you will be able to simply use our new split cost toggle when creating a purchase order. This will allow you to split the cost between different departments, projects, or most important budgets directly within the same PO. You can divide the cost by percentage or by specific amounts. We are also excited to announce our new accruals report that will be launching next quarter, bringing enhanced clarity and control to your financial operations. Currently, you need to build a custom report to see your accruals. With our upcoming update, these reports will be available in the standard Precoro reports list, so you can analyze the outstanding payments within just a few clicks. These were all our finance improvements we plan for the next quarter. So moving on to better approval workflow for recurring documents. Many of you create recurring documents such as monthly office rental bills that currently require each approval each time they are auto generated. When in reality, initial approval of the spend is enough. With our new update, that will be changed. So once you approve the first document, all the following recurring documents will automatically inherit approval unless there are any discrepancies. Then, shipping or tax cost management. So, shipping and tax are the type of cost you usually cannot define at the PO stage. Thus, once they occur on invoices, it triggers unnecessary matching, approving, and then receiving. With our upcoming improvement, we will change that by adding separate add shipping and add tax buttons to easily include your shipping and tax cost as separate lines. So additional approval and receiving will not be triggered anymore. Okay, this one was requested by probably almost every customer joining Precoro, so I have great news for you. After it's released, the due date on the invoices will be automatically calculated based on the selected payment term. So just pick a relevant term of payment for supplier, enter the issue date, and the due date will be auto-populated. So there is no need to do the math yourself and no risk for overdue payments due to incorrect calculation. And let's finish our roadmap for Q3 with two small updates we plan to release next quarter. A first update is related to the system cleanup. I'm sure that some of you have a couple years old purchase orders hanging there that they will never be received. But they remain open, cluttering the interface with the unnecessary info cards. You might have already noticed our new status in the filter closed, and this one will be used for closing documents older than 2 years, leaving you with only relevant open information. And it will be launched in Precoro quite soon, so please wait for an announcement from our product team with further details. And the last update for today is especially relevant during the vacation season. Right now, admin has no control over vacation settings of the users. And as people usually focus on closing all the pending tasks before the days off, they can simply forget to enable the vacation mode and select a substitute. So you might end up with stuck documents waiting for the approver's return. Worry no more, as admins will have permission to enable vacation mode and set substitute users for others. That's all for our roadmap. I hope that you learned new features today and noted down some of them to discover more. I also hope that you like the format of our Precoro webinars. We are going to arrange them on regular basis and we'll keep you posted on that. Lada, do you have anything to add before our Q&A session?
I do. Before I dive into that, please do submit any questions that you might have. We have already had a couple questions in the chat, but it seems like they're getting resolved as we speak. I would like to mention that many of your beloved customer success managers are on this call. So if you have any questions, there's a high chance that they will get to you before we do. Jane, thank you so much for answering the question in the chat already. And we're looking for any other questions that you might have. But before the Q&A, I know that, such a big, important question that many of you are asking yourselves is, well, okay, these events are great. I learned so much about the product, but they happen once a quarter. How do I learn more about product? Where do I go? Um, don't fret no more. We have a lot of opportunities to learn about the product. So there are a few places that you could go. You could follow our Precoro blog. We post all of the features that come out, or any integrations or partnerships that happen regularly. Then there is Precoro knowledge base. In the knowledge base, you will find the most detailed descriptions and about how to implement it. And there is also a Precoro product newsletter, which comes out once a month with all of the most important features covered. If you're not currently receiving Precoro product newsletter for some reason, please do let us know in the chat or write directly to me and we will get you set up. And of course, if you would like to, you can follow us on social media, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. We publish, again, the biggest, most important integrations, punch outs, updates, all the time. Every week something comes out together with some very useful content. So it would be great if you would follow us there. We put a lot of work into this. So hoping to see you there. But that's it from me as well. And let's dive into our Q&A session. I do not see any questions as of yet, other than the ones that Jane has covered. Please let me know in the chat if not everything that was covered, if I misunderstood something. But other than that, yeah, we're waiting for your questions. Meanwhile, let me ask Miia. Miia, what's your favorite update that we've discussed today? Either something from Q2 or something that is coming.
Mm-hmm. Um, Definitely, the mobile app is a top one because a lot of customers waited for it. And to be honest, I use the app too, just to log into my account, view some documents that I need to check for testing purposes. So I think that it's really a great feature that can help a lot of our customers during, as mentioned before, business travel or when they are out of the office. And of course, the Suite app, as I mentioned, I love our NetSuite integration, and I love this new Suite app as it really streamlines this process. And I know that it will be much easier for our beloved customers to manage this integration further with the Suite app. So, and of course, the punch outs, and I don't know, many, many more.
I agree. I am very excited about all the features in the Q3 as well, everything related to finance improvements. I think there is a lot of efficiency to be gained there, so definitely looking forward to them. Okay, it doesn't seem like we have any questions as of right now, which should be a good sign that we covered everything. So thank you so much for everybody joining. If you have Okay. Jane, thank you so much. Just a moment of appreciation for all of our customer success managers, always there on the line answering any questions. So, thanks very much for being here. Okay, I guess we can give one last minute, 30 seconds for any questions to pop up if you have anything. If something comes up after the session, please feel free to follow up or contact your customer success manager. They are the person with all the answers. So please do write to them. We will share the recording and the slides later today. So if you would like to review anything, you will have an opportunity to do so. Okay, I think that we can close now. Miia, thank you so much for joining. If you have any last words as well.
Just want to thank everyone for joining the webinar today and checking our exciting updates with us. Hope you noted down some of them to check later. And if you have any questions, if you realize that you forgot to ask something afterward, please let your customer success know or let me know, and we'll be happy to answer them.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for finding the time and see you at our next event. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Bye.